Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Eric, and I am joined by Ryder Lee of Raised by Giants. Ryder and I just had a wonderful talk, and we shot a video, but it's quite long, so it's going to be a while before it gets into the internet. But we wanted to let you know to pay attention because this is a bombshell conversation that you don't get everywhere else. What do you say about that, Ryder?
Yeah, it was amazing conversation, and we were able to talk about things that I've never talked about and I've wanted to talk about, but due to the censorship and the things that are happening on other platforms, it's not viable for us to release that on YouTube. So Eric has his website, deciphering.tv, but we are going to be posting more and more videos like this one. And I really hope you guys pay attention to the things that we were talking about in this video, because like I said, I've been wanting to talk about this and from my perspective of what's going on in the world. And I got to get it out, and it felt really good and really liberating because I've been trying to tell people about this personally, and I haven't had the chance or the opportunity to do it on a video platform. So I really hope that you guys take the time and listen to the entire video. We went into a bunch of different topics, and I think you guys will really find it interesting. And I know it's long, but try and listen to the whole thing. It's 100% worth it.
Awesome, Ryder. Well, I appreciate it as always, and I am always happy to give you specifically a forum to speak your mind because I really like where your thoughts are at, and I like the work that you're doing. So I'm here. Deciphering TV is here to help you out. Anytime you need to get stuff off your chest, you just reach out to me because that's kind of what this platform is for, and we can all connect the dots and work towards truth together. Is the way I see things.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing not to have to self censor, and because we're talking about a lot of different touchy subjects. And the link we'll put the link in the description, right? So
Absolutely. There'll be a
people, all
link
they
in the
have to do.
description below.
Awesome, yeah. And yeah, we need to really be utilizing these alternative media platforms, and Eric's website is a perfect platform to get on there and speak your mind and not have to just avoid the censorship altogether,
It's a good way to
right?
sneak under the radar in the trying times that we're in. Um, this conversation right now almost sounds silly compared to the conversation that we just had, where we are now playing with words and dancing around topics after having such a liberating conversation.
Yes, it was. I feel great right now, because a lot of the things that we discussed in there are some real stuff, and some things that are going to be coming down the pipeline. And it's scary, and it's overwhelming. Um, but this is the way that it has to be. Unfortunately, we can't talk about all of these things on specifically YouTube, or we would get a strike. Just mentioning some of the words that we mentioned in that interview, the talk that me and Eric just had.
I could
So
pretty much
please,
almost guarantee that if I put the conversation that we had on YouTube, I would get thrown off immediately.
100%. And it's sad that it has to be that way. That it's come to that. But this is what we kind of have to do right now when we're talking about these kinds of topics and these kinds of issues. So please go and go to Eric's website. The link to our video will be in the description of this video. And also sign up for his website. You just need an email and your name, and you'll be subscribed to his website. And hopefully, we can try and get some kind of notification process going on too. So for whenever we put out these videos, or if he puts out a video or he does a video with someone else or something,
Yep.
that people will get an email notification.
That is in the
that
works. We have the website is growing. Currently, though, it's just it's a very small crew. It's a solid website, but we're growing, and we will go in that direction. The intention is to pump out notifications to folks when we're putting out new stuff. Right now, I've just been passively collecting an email list, so to say, without really, harassing the new subscribers, so to say, with the email inbox flooding,
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a really good opportunity to circumvent and this whole censorship problem, and being able to speak our minds. You're going to have to go to different platforms for these
Yes.
kinds of topics that we have, and all it is it's just a click of a button. It's not hard.
I think people need to learn that being spoon-fed what was supposedly the truth all these years was certainly an easy activity, but it didn't get you a lot of the truth. So you're going to have to put a little bit more effort into finding the truth in the future, which could simply just be, subscribing to deciphering.tv.
Yeah, it's just a little redirection is really all it is, and we're going to try and do some more of these kinds of videos and these kinds of topics in the future. So please subscribe to Eric's website, deciphering.tv. You just need your email, your name, and then whenever the notifications, whenever Eric gets that worked out. For now, we might try and do these little preview videos to make you guys aware more, so that you know that it's up. But yeah, that's the way that things are going to kind of be working in the future. Is we're gonna have to be using YouTube as like a
commercial,
as like a trailer opportunity to let you know where the information is going to be. And like I said, it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but
we're learning how to split the defense. They try to stop us in one direction. We're just figuring out a way to work around it.
Exactly. So please check out that video and listen to it with an open mind, and just take on the information. We talked about a lot of different things, current events, things that we see happening in the future. And this is it, man. We are in it.
I feel like we're at like 4th and 10, staring at the end zone. We're either going to make it or we're not. It's the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult for us to dig us out of the mess that we're in at the moment. But I hope that we can, and I hope that something happens, and it starts with us, right? It starts individually.
Absolutely.
We have to stand up individually and make a difference individually, and that happens with non-compliance. That's the way that we do, because if not, then these things are going to keep going, and they're not going to stop, and they are going to keep kicking us while we are down.
Oh yeah. I've said at times before that we can look at history as a repeating cycle, and it reduces to this repeating cycle. The rich will step on the throats of the poor until such time the poor rise up and stop them. That's all that's history doing over and over again. It's the same cycle. We currently have a very hard boot on our throat. The question is, what are people going to do about it?
Exactly. What are we going to do about it? That's the ultimate question. And I think that we answer that question pretty well in the video that is on Eric's website right now.
Mm-hmm.
and we get into quite a few things that I think are on the forefront of a lot of people's minds, and what's going to happen, and what the outcome.
Yep. There's a lot of
Is going to
tension
be.
being applied to the world, dials being tweaked, and intentions being applied. But not everybody's paying attention to the big picture, I guess, and they get focused on the details that are laid at our feet. These tactics of division.
Yeah, we're focused on the illusion, and the illusion is just that. It's an illusion. There's a much bigger agenda that's at play right now.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are completely blind to it because they have everyone so distracted in the here and the now, that whenever these repercussions come from the decisions that we have made in the future, it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. Right? So it's about bringing the awareness to the fact that a lot of the scenarios we discussed in this video are very probable. They're very real. And if something isn't done now, then I'm afraid by the time something is done about it, it's going to be too late. So please check out the video, subscribe to Eric's website. This is where the real information about what's going on is going to be presented. And we're going to do everything that we can to try and bring the truth as we see it to you people. You just have to, to the audience and to the people that are listening, you just have to seek it out a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have the hard-hitting conversations that used to happen, before things got a little too politically correct. When Ryder and I talk, we speak openly, we speak frankly, we speak our minds. Sometimes it may seem that we're agitated at each other to people contemporarily, but this is just called communicating, folks. Like back in the day, you could have a conversation with someone that you didn't agree with everything on. Ryder and I do not agree on everything, and that's okay. I love that we can have these conversations from different perspectives, and that's what we're trying to bring to the table, is that there are hard-hitting conversations that need to be had. They're not necessarily always pleasant, but therein lies the greater need, I think, is that people have become too accustomed to staying in foo-foo comfy conversations. And sometimes when we get down to the real brass tacks of life, there are conversations that have to be had that can border on at the very least, on an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable and you're just listening to people that you agree with all the time, then you're not growing. You're not expanding your mind.
Yep. Ryder makes me think about things. I like that.
Yeah, and you do too, Eric. We have two different perspectives, and that doesn't mean that we can't get along. That's where they've sown the seeds of division.
Yep.
Right, is by making people that disagree with each other hate each other.
Right.
Or make them think that they hate each other.
They focus on the thing they disagree on, right? When they might wind up agreeing on 99% of things. That's what society is doing to us right now, is getting us to focus on the differences and the division-wielding tactics, where you and I are above that. I can certainly find the things that you and I disagree on. There's no reason for me to focus on them when I know there's plenty of other things that we absolutely do agree on. So we have learned to find common ground, and we are working towards a better future for both of our positions and everybody else that we can connect with. And more or less, I just see us as leading by example, and I can only hope that folks follow that as we move in a direction to just prove that it's doable. That's all.
Yeah, and looking at our similarities, just like you said, instead of our differences.
Mhm.
You know, it's the easiest way that they've been able to divide and conquer us
Yep.
so easily.
Yes. We all have way more in common with each other than we do differences. It's amazing how much that the media structure likes to just focus on the things that are different, as if that's the whole conversation. But that's, I think, the bait and switch of the media that you and I are working steadfastly against.
Yeah, and like that's the reason why I call everyone brothers and sisters,
Mhm.
right? Because I'm trying to show and lead by example that we are all connected,
Mhm.
right? And everyone is our brothers and everyone is our sisters. And people might think that that might be weird or something, but that's the way that I do it because I'm trying to install that kind of brotherhood
Mhm.
within people.
Yeah.
And if everyone would look at everyone else, no matter their skin color, no matter their religion, no matter what their views are politically, then and look at them like they are our brothers and sisters, then I guarantee you that things will change.
Mhm.
Right? We wouldn't have all of this hate and anger and division
Oh, I believe
and
that.
fear. Yeah, it's if you look at everyone like they're your family, then you're not going to want to cause physical harm to your family. I mean, I'm sure some people will, of course. You know, I'm not saying everyone won't, but it's definitely a step in the right direction of fixing not only our spiritual problem but our mental and our emotional problem because we are broken as a society. We are disconnected, and that has been by design.
Mhm.
They've
Absolutely.
they've done that for decades now, and it's all just kind of coming to the forefront. And we can't let ourselves be divided more. Right? We have to stand up. We have to do something. We have to say no.
I agree
We
with
have
that
to not
100%.
comply.
No, no is the most powerful and underused word right now. You know, it would pretty much stop every issue we have right now if we could, in solidarity, collectively, just stand fast and say no. We're not going to do the silly things that you're dictating. That would end it.
It would, and I feel like people are really they're afraid of that. They're afraid of the unknown,
Correct.
right? And it's a fear
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know what's going to happen and they don't have enough faith in themselves or in other people to be able to make that leap. Not knowing that making that leap is in benefit of them and everybody else.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I see it very clearly from my perspective that we all need to work together on this one. Um, I've already made the leap myself. I mean, my butt's been hanging out in the breeze since last August in regards to all of this regulations and overreach and stuff like that. But myself personally, I don't really have a choice in the matter. I just move in the direction of the battle and hope everybody moves in my direction. And here I am a year later, and everybody else is now threatened by their employers. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now we got some more skin in the game, it looks like.
Yeah, everything is going to fall on its head. It's all going to be turned upside down. And then people that, and then the normal people that have given in to all of the nonsense that's been going on is going to be, and that has been fanning the flames of this whole thing, are going to be sitting back and wondering why everything is on fire.
Yep.
Well, you were the one that was fanning the flames.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, it's such a hard thing, you know, to discuss on here. That's why we did the video. On Eric's website. Yes, please go check that out, because we get into basically everything that we're kind of discussing now and tiptoeing around in that video. And I think that you guys are really going to enjoy it and get a lot out of it. And again, it's like Eric said, you don't have to agree with all of it, right? You don't have to agree and believe what I'm saying or what, you know, Eric's saying. You know, to just be able to listen to it and take it in.
To consider something you might not have considered before, with an open heart and an open mind to the information, without the previous biases that you've been presented from a disingenuous world.
From the illusion, we're feeding an illusion.
For all practical purposes, the general audience out there, Ryder doesn't know you. I don't know you. I don't have an interest in your life, per se. I have an interest in your freedom because I see it being removed. I see other people who I think have a very vested interest in your life, my life, and Ryder's life, applying their intentions liberally. I'm just trying to help remove the veil of their offenses upon you and everybody else. That's my interest in the conversation, is to remove the interests of other people from you that you didn't realize were present.
I think that's a big problem and a big issue too, is that 90% of people don't realize what's going on. Like, I'm sure something has to be off. You know what I mean? Like, something, they have to know that something isn't right.
Everybody's heard the term, they're familiar with the term market makers, right? This idea, a market maker, you know, someone's a bigwig, a tycoon of industry. But what does that really mean? You know, are we to believe that the news media and the power players of the world, the market makers, are simply patiently waiting for the world to occur and then they report on it? Or are they making that market? Do they have the powers to create the story? I mean, it's just that simple. I don't think people are passively waiting for the news anymore. I think there's kingpins of markets that could create wonderful shows. Like William Shakespeare said, all the world is a stage. Well, can you tell what act we're in or what scene it is? Are you paying that much of attention to know that there is a show and it's on 24 hours a day? Those are the types of things.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep. And if you don't have the discernment, and if you're just going to take what's spoon-fed to you as genuine information that occurred naturally while people were waiting to present that truth to you, you might want to take a listen to the video that we made, because it'll remove that blinder from you.
Yes, I think that it will, and I loved the conversation that we had. I got to talk about a lot of things that's been pent up for a while, and I've been wanting to let them out. I mean, I've let them out to people personally in my life, of course, but never on a platform like this. So if you want to get some real conversations and some real truth, and it's going to be different than the kind of shows that I do on my channel. So just be aware, right? It's not you just kind of see a different
The different
side
faces
of
of Ryder.
yeah, many many.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's a different kind of conversation, and it's not a political one, right? I'm not affiliated with any political party at all, because I think that
I don't
they're all
recall any
nonsense.
politics coming up in the conversation, actually.
No, I don't. But some people from, I guess, could take it that I'm on one side or the other based on my position, right? Because that's what they've done too.
I could
They
see people would
blanket.
try to lay that at your feet, but I would say you're pretty even keeled. That you're more of a person for the people than a party.
Yeah, and I'm not. But that's also what they try and do, is they try and categorize you and label you into a certain system.
Oh
Right?
yeah, it's par for the course nowadays, right? If you don't have a Joe Biden shirt on, they accuse you of loving Trump. You know, it's the way of the world right now. But that's nonsense, and it can be easily disposed of and dispatched with in any real conversation. Anybody that wants to play games like that is going to get decimated by an actual intellect. That's low brow stuff going on there.
Yeah, and I mean, both sides are complete and total nonsense.
Right,
Right? It's
right,
another division tactic.
exactly.
I'm actually releasing a couple of memes here in the next couple of days that
Yeah.
really drive that home.
Yeah,
And
here's an interesting coincidence, folks. There's no poor people in politics. Think about that one for a
imagine that.
while. Everybody's saying we're getting screwed by the politicians. Well, there's a synonymous term for that. It's called the wealthy. There's no poor people in politics. Remember that.
Yes, it's a class war, right? That's
Yep.
what it's all about. It's not a race war. It's not a war of what color of skin you are, or what your beliefs are, or what you think, or even a political war.
Yep.
It's
It's
about class.
it's a
It's
game where
about the
the billionaires try to convince you that I'm after your last $5, so that now you're concerned about me when in reality he's gonna get your $5.
Yep. It's about the rich and the elite being on top, and the poor and the middle class being at the bottom.
Yes.
And they want us like that forever.
Yep. They just want to keep mixing us in at the bottom while they stay on the top. You
Yep.
know, the lower class gets to work its way up to the middle class, while the middle class gets churned up and knocked back down to the lower class. And that cycle is like I mentioned earlier. It's the rich putting the boot on the throat of the poor until they do something about it. You know, I don't like the cycle. I don't know anybody else that likes the cycle. I know a lot of people that aren't aware that that cycle's going on and where our place is in that cycle contemporarily. I feel like there's boot leather on my throat. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and it's going to get nothing but worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't going to let up.
No.
We might think that, oh well, if we just comply and do what we were told to do, then everything will get back to normal. That's not the way that it works.
No.
I
Compliance.
can't make any sense of that. How anybody thinks that freely giving up their rights and their freedoms gets their rights and their freedoms back.
We're in a position right now, and we're teetering on what can be conversed here now, though. We've been placed in a position where we're trying to be convinced that when you take away somebody's right to refuse something, that they're still in a position of choice. And that's complete and utter crap. You either have the right to choose something or not, or you have no choice. If your choice to refuse is removed, you're no longer a free agent. You're a slave.
You no longer have the choice.
You're a slave. People don't like that word nowadays. When somebody tells you what to do and you don't have a choice and you're not getting paid in the equation, welcome to slavery. We're entering a new era of slavery in the United States of America. And if you don't want to be a slave, do something about it. That's the way I see it. There's a whole lot of folks that have to choose their activity in the world. Will they choose to be a slaver? Will they be on the pro-slaver team, or will they be on the anti-slaver team? I'm going to be with the anti-slavers all day long.
Me too. And we all need to get on that train.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to ride it right to freedom land.
Right? Yeah, I say we start making new T-shirts, End Slavery, because it's just back by a new definition. Everybody talks about, the historical problems of slavery in the world. Screw talking about the historical problems. Let's talk about the contemporary slavery issue that we're staring down the barrel of. I do not wish to be enslaved. And anybody else who does not wish to be enslaved, I think you should pay attention to what Ryder and I have been saying.
Yeah, unchain those unseen shackles.
Mm-hmm. The digi-shackles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's in the video.
Get rid of them.
Yep. We have a digital enemy, folks. Well, I think everybody should check out the video. I think there's a lot of stuff in there, and people can they can comment, they can check it out, they can let us know if they agree with this or not, or anything that we might have missed. By all means, throw things in the comments and keep sharing this information, folks. That's the most that we can ask of you right now. Because the information has to get out there. So please go to Ryder's page at Raised by Giants. Check me out, Deciphering My Experience, and then also deciphering.tv, because that's going to be the people that it's going to take to break these shackles. It's going to take effort from we the people, which means you, the people out there. I can't do it by myself. Ryder can't do it by himself. We're trying to connect together to bear the burden as best as we can. But many hands makes light work is one of my favorite sayings on the job site. So we're struggling for an effort for the betterment of humanity. Anything that you can do to assist is greatly appreciated. And in the grand scheme of helping humanity, I expect that of you, actually. I expect people to do the right thing. I really do. So, like, subscribe, share, do all the things that I expect of good people. That's the only way out of this, is to live up to the expectations of the morals that you folks believe in. I challenge everybody to be the awesome person. Do something, like, subscribe, share, go to Patreon, go to PayPal. Do whatever is within your power, people, please. But I assure you, doing nothing accomplishes nothing 100% of the time. Please do something to help the world around you.
Yes, you just spoke it so beautifully. And I'm just going to end on what I ended with in the video that we just made. If you can see through the illusion, then you are the solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's simple as that.
Nice.
Right? Stop living in other people's illusionary reality. Create your own.
I like that. Yeah, stop living in the problem and be the solution. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, we can all get caught up in the complexity of the mathematics of the argument. You'll just be caught in that all day long. Be the solution. Get outside the complexity. I like that. Awesome. Well, Ryder, as always, thank you very much for your time and all of the efforts that you're doing out there. Be well, and I look forward to talking to you again. Have a great day.
Thanks, Eric.
Bye-bye.